So, the red pill. It's getting a lot of steam as of late. A lot of people want to talk about men's issues in particular, myself included. But what makes someone like me different than someone like, well, Destiny, right here? His blank, soulless eyes, and his blue hair, and his feminist attitude and talking points? Well, first of all, I'm not a feminist. I even believe the 19th should be abolished. Shocker. But Destiny here thinks that I could just infiltrate this space and garner a following of young men, and yet this is what I allow my wife to do. Destiny, you should be fucking thankful to Abba over here for having the amount of distance he has between himself and your wife. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, Destiny and his wife, I put wife here in quotes, are in an open relationship. An open marriage, I should say. That's how they dub it. But, in my opinion, that's not actually marriage. And now, because of this revelation, we'll call it, Destiny thinks he can offer marriage advice. He legitimately thinks he can do that. And so, he's been on Fresh and Fit. He's been on quite a lot of other red pill shows. And he makes an ass of himself every single fucking time. That's the thing about a lot of the critics of the red pill. They have this tendency to make a complete ass of themselves, even more so than the Andrew Taints of the world. That's something to think about right there. And yet Destiny still has the fucking gall to say that I won these debates, guys! I'm a smart liberal! Smart liberal my ass. I swear. Though, it's astounding that a lot of these critics of the red pill, they also have the tendency to just completely throw even the friends they make in this space completely under the bus. Now, I don't like Sneako da Cucko, but it's still not a good thing that Destiny just threw who we thought was his friend just completely under the bus. It really is something. I mean, some of the other people, I think aside from Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG, he doesn't. I mean, he's a psychiatrist. Throwing people under the bus isn't his kind of thing. But Real Femme Sapien, oh boy, she threw the entire, a lot of guys under the bus after she announced that she was leaving the red pill. And Femme Sapien is the reason why I even have the Scurvy Shit List series. She was the first person I made a video on. Or at least of that style. But, let's see. I'm trying to remember some other critics of the... Oh yeah, we have Bullcuck Mindset. I know Chronic talked about him a lot back in like 2018. He stopped being relevant after Undead Chronic actually called him out. And Bullcuck Mindset, he basically was like, "Oh, I want you to get married, even though everything, even not to a virgin, not to a decent woman, but to that used up 304." And Chronic saw that and ripped on him to shreds. I swear. And you even see some critics of the red pill on the right. I mean, literally, Better Bachelor uploaded a video today about like some people of the Daily Wire, mainly Jeremy Boring, who was criticizing kind of the pickup side of the pill, so to speak. Considering that we're not going to be watching that that video tonight, it's like 40 minutes long, but I recommend it. I do recommend it. And what made, like, not all critics of it are completely like degenerate, but some are misguided. I think Jeremy Boring is misguided in that regard. I think, I think all the hosts of the Daily Wire, I think aside from Candace Owens, grew up in a very like traditional like Catholic household, and that does kind of skew your perspective a little bit. But on one hand, I definitely agree with Jeremy Boring about divorce and all that, and how it's like it is a very bad thing. But I also disagree with him on like the type of people who he's talking about. I think the advice, red pill advice itself is not bad, but it's mainly the people, so to speak. There are some people that I would recommend, and some who I would tell you to stay the fuck away from, for one reason or another. Like, I made a scurvy shitless video about just pearly things a few months back, and yeah, I'd recommend you don't watch her, and I recommend you watch channels like Better Bachelor, Undead Chronic / the rest of the War Band. But part of what Boring doesn't get, it's like not all red pill advice is about like pickup. It seems like he and a lot of the other more like traditionally minded people, or old school Christians, you could say, uh, I think they kind of lack the perspective of listening to people like Better Bachelor. I think their perception of red pill is like Andrew Tate, which I think that's wrong, but who knows? Then again, Better Bachelor did win the Jeremy's Razors giveaway, so I wouldn't be surprised if he reacted to Better Bachelor's tweet on the matter. But before we get on to our next segment, I do want to say something. Like in that Twitter thread, I'd say Jeremy is pretty respectful. He has his positions, but he's not like an asshole, like typical Twitter asshole, so to speak, like the ones my friend El Sheffo has to deal with. But closing remarks. I actually have a few before we get to our first video of the night. You should always be wary of who enters like a space. Hell, you could apply this to me too. I mean, I talk about this stuff a lot, though I do this as a hobby. I don't make a career out of it. That's something you could use, if they're doing this as a hobby compared to if they're doing this as a career. That's how you kind of know who the genuine ones are compared to the frauds. It's similar to the fitness community in a lot of things. Alrighty.